Recently, I had the opportunity to interview friend and fellow kite flyer, Wayne Herrschaft. Some of you may recognize Wayne from the flying field, but didn't realize that he is one of the most talented entertainment photographers of our day. Enjoy this interview with the very talented Wayne Herrschaft. Welcome, friends. My friend Wayne here is an Instagram friend of mine, and not only that, a friend of the kite flying field too. And he's got a really interesting story, and I wanted to introduce him to all the world's greatest. Pronounce your last name.
Herrschaft.
Herrschaft.
Herrschaft. I used to spell it differently at certain points in time just because I knew it pissed my father off when, like, I was on a wrestling team and they'd screw the name up royally and it flipped him out. By that time he wasn't even focusing on watching it, so I'd spell it like how it sounds, H-E-R-S-H-A-F-T, and they usually didn't screw that up. You put an extra C in there and all of a sudden it becomes Hershcrafter. I don't know how that one letter changes syllables. Powerful letter.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
It used to, long story short, it used to be Bovinity Divinity. It was an ice cream by Ben and Jerry. It was vanilla chocolate ice cream with little white chocolate and milk chocolate cows. Funny thing with that was, drove to Vermont to meet friends, so I said, meet us at the Ben and Jerry's factory, because you can get tours there and whatnot. Behind the Ben and Jerry's factory, there is a graveyard, and it big thing, looks like a regular graveyard, tombstones. It's all the flavors that don't exist anymore.
Oh, fun.
So I'm kneeling on the ground with a tissue, just being me, and pretending I'm crying in front of the Bovinity Divinity tombstone. Well, who sees me? The host from the Today Show in New York is doing a tour with their camera crew, and they want me to do it again. So there is a video online from the Today Show of me pretending to be bawling my eyes out over a dead ice cream flavor. They started it off like a memorial. It's so sad to lose a dear friend. There's seagulls flying into the sunset. Then they come in on me, and then they discuss ice cream in the Ben & Jerry's factory.
I hope I can find the link to this to post it.
It's on my Facebook somewhere. I can get it to you.
Okay, it will be posted right below. Because I have a serious addiction to coffee. I really do. I drink
Probably
so much.
less expensive than a serious addiction to Monster. This is what I wake up to every morning. This is my coffee. And I'm so specific, it's got to be the purple one in the morning. The white is my afternoon drink.
I don't know if I've ever had a Monster.
It's carbonated coffee with fruit flavor.
Wayne, you have an interesting situation. So why don't you tell people, what exactly is it that you do?
I'm primarily a music/entertainment photographer. I've shot everybody from the local bar band, which is where I started with the glorious light of a Miller High Life sign lighting the band, to the Rolling Stones at one of the biggest shows that I ever shot in Giant Stadium, where it was myself and 3 other photographers, Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, and the rest of the boys. Shot everything jazz, death metal, got been kicked in the head once or twice. I've had stuff sprayed on me at a war show, so covered pretty much every kind of music out there.
Tell me, how in the world did you get into that as your occupation? Because that's pretty rad. You get to rub shoulders with who most of us think are, we only see them on TV. There's no chance we're going to see them unless we go to a concert or, and you know a lot of these people. How did this happen?
Started shooting on film way back in 1982-ish. Twisted Sister in the clubs before anybody knew what Twisted Sister was. I liked it. I don't know how good the pictures are. I've been recently trying to find the negatives for those films. And it escalated from there. Then the next big show I tried to shoot was the Rolling Stones, Madison Square Garden, probably around the same year. Thought I had everything I needed. I had Pentax camera, 35mm film, zoom lens. Of course, you weren't supposed to bring it in. Wore 2 pairs of underwear. Put the body of the camera flat on the front of me, and I had the zoom lens between my legs. Walked in a little funky. Nobody questioned it. Shot the show. I was like, yeah, I shot the Rolling Stones. Brought my film to like probably Photomat back then. Picked it up at the little booth, and I had 5 little pieces of rice on a pink background. That was my Rolling Stones pictures. Fast forward to about 10 years ago, I again was one of 4 photographers. I was shooting for a local paper at the time. One of 4 photographers allowed to shoot the show at Giant Stadium. So I went from my little pieces of rice to Keith Richards mugging from my lens 6 feet away. Quite a change of perception in those pictures, but it was a cool trip. I shot a lot of stuff in between. Started out going to local bars and clubs and saying you want pictures in exchange for a night of listening to music.
That's pretty cool.
And it still kind of works that way. I mean, a lot of venues, they know they can get people to shoot that like the music and the atmosphere. And then you gotta kind of twist it, so you gotta figure out a way to make money out of it. You're not gonna make a fortune, but all those little cameras get really expensive.
Yeah. Tell me about it. And now, as far as kiting goes, we know each other because you follow my channel, World's
Right.
Greatest Kiting, on Instagram, and that's really how I got to see, who the heck is this guy? What are you doing? And you fly kites too. How did you get into kiting? What's the tie-in there? What happened?
It was just another hobby. Same year. There was a guy down actually at Jones Beach by us, and he had a stack of, if anybody remembers, Trollbees. They were pretty much colorful garbage bags. I mean, that's what the material of the kite was. It was a plastic frame. You could buy packs of 3, packs of 1, stack them. Everything was in a bag, and they were like $30. And you go down to the beach, 45 or 60-foot tails, and you would have these things spinning around the sky, and it was like nothing that anybody ever saw. And from there, I think I asked for Christmas one year. My wife surprised me with a fire dart. And I remember the disappointment because she thought they shipped the wrong thing. This is a 9.5-foot powerful stunt kite. The package showed up and it was like this big. So at that point, neither one of us knew that the spars came apart and it really shrunk down to a small package. It was the kite it promised, and I had a lot of fun with that kite. Ended up wearing it out, breaking it, and only recently bought a brand new one that somebody had had in a bag at an auction.
Oh, cool. I love finding those old kites that
It's
people
big,
don't know.
it's loud, it's scary, and it's like flying a,
All the good stuff.
yeah, it's like flying a bomber over the beach.
What is your perception of kiting now that you've done it? You've met people in kiting, and what do you think about it now in comparison to the occupation that you have?
They're all performers, but there are some, like you mentioned, I've bumped into celebrity rock stars that you said like people would be, oh my God, I can't be in the same room with this person. Well, I kind of got that feeling. I was down in this area 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I was supposed to meet somebody who I'd never met. I was flying his kites on the beach, and I'm like, wow, these are characters. Look at the guys. I mean, the kites they're flying and how they're flying are amazing. But look at the characters. There's characters attached to these. So I'm with my camera and I'm shooting them. I probably took more pictures of the people flying the kites than the kites themselves. And maybe 2-3 years later, went to Wildwood. Dave Simmons came up to me and he said, I have some leader lines that'll make your kite handle better on those handles. You can extend this, you can bring this back. And he goes, yeah, you're down here with like some of the best in the world. And I looked around and I was like, holy crap, these are the people that I were taking pictures of, that I was in awe of these people. And he's like, yeah, tomorrow morning, meet us right in a tent over there, and I'll introduce you. I was more nervous about that than standing next to any of the people for some strange reason, the rock stars don't faze me. He introduced me to the, like, Hildegard, Fletch, LeMasters. I'm trying to think who else was down there. And I'm like, holy crap, these are the people I was taking pictures of just because they were interesting subjects. And now I'm brought into the circle to meet them, talk to them, and have since sat at a table and had dinner with the guys. And it's just, to me, it's great. I don't know, I think more people can get on stage with a microphone than can hold one of those ribs and make it perform. I'm not going to hand Steven Tyler the handles to a rib and say, all right, you go now.
Well, thank you for following World's Greatest Kiting. Thanks for doing what you do.
Thanks.
And
It's a lot of fun, and I'm on to new adventures now. I'm switching gears from my real job to, who knows?
new adventures for
A
all
lot
of
of
us.
new
huh?
adventures.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for hanging out and talking
Thank
with me.
you. This was great.
Thanks for talking to World's Greatest Kiting out there.
Thank you, World's Greatest Kiting, for putting up with this silly story of mine.
And when you see Wayne out on the flying field, get him on the line. Fly with this guy, will you? Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.
Happy flying. I need ice cream for breakfast.
Done it.
Everyone loves a great ice cream cone, and recently today's Jenna Wolf was forced to take this hardship assignment to find out what really goes into those decadent desserts. Forced to take a hardship assignment.
We could break your arm.
Forced and hardship.
Right.
It is the inconsolable pain of losing a loved one.
How you holding up?
I'm all right.
The loss of a reliable comfort.
What is Bovinity Divinity?
It was vanilla and chocolate ice cream, and it had little white chocolate and regular chocolate cows in it.
This is the Ben & Jerry's graveyard in Waterbury, Vermont.
Just want to try to get some closure there.
I understand.
Since the company's inception in 1979, over 250 flavors have bit the dust. But for every peanuts and popcorn or making whoopie pie lost, a new flavor is born.